You might be wondering what I am looking at. I am looking at this card deck. I have a couple card decks that when I get stuck, I look at, and I tested. And when I say tested, I muscle test myself to see what I need. And today is another conversation about vision. What is your vision? And I just wanted to put in today's conversation that sometimes we don't know, right? Today, before I got out of bed, I spoke out loud and just really felt into what I was going to create today. And Wednesdays, there's always like this for me, right? I have 3 meetings right away in the morning, and then Amanda and I do Wellness Wednesday, and then the afternoon is the rest of whatever I get to do besides that, right? I'm on Zoom until like 2 my time. So I brought this out last night because I wanted to come up with or show ideas. My lighting is great. Show ideas of what if I got stuck? What happens if I get stuck with my vision? Or what happens if I get stuck in self-sabotage? Like, what do we do? And there are different card decks out there. There's different things you can do, right? We have tapped into ourselves to ground. We have created an emotional toolbox, but I actually haven't talked about the card decks that I also use. And this is called, you probably can't see it. It is a beautiful card deck by Alina Brower. And I brought it out probably because I did yoga with her when I was at doTERRA convention this last weekend. And it's Practice You Daily Awakening deck. And I picked 3 cards last night, and I wanted to see what resonated with me. I do have another card deck too. And it didn't test that I needed them. So here we are, and it absolutely resonates. And so this is another idea of how to create a vision, or how to get unstuck, or how to move forward if you're like not creative, right? If you're feeling in a slump or stagnant or in quicksand like I did a couple weeks ago, there's always tools out there, and this is just another tool that you can use. All right. And I don't know about your guys' weather, but yesterday was like 93 and today is going to be 60. So I'm wearing like my fall clothes. I'm just super comfortable. My favorite thing, jeans and a long sleeve. I love it. Okay. So I wanted to talk about this and have a little bit of a conversation. So when you pick 3 cards out of this deck, I'm touching. Hold on. Hopefully that will take care of that. I touched my computer and it turned on my Facebook. Okay. So I picked 3 cards. And so when you pick 3 cards of the deck, one is like right now, one is, there's directions in every one of them too. One is the answer that I'm holding on to my heart, right? What you know to be true, and what you get to lean into, even if it's uncomfortable. The second card is going to be an option or an angle that I have been avoiding, or that you have been avoiding, whoever's using the cards, right? And the third one is a lesson to learn. So like really, really a future, right? All right. So the first card that I picked up that we're going to talk about today is a card of surrender. So it was something to do, and the act is to hold my solar plexus, which is like your gut chakra, right? If somebody punched you in the gut, below your bra line, above your belly button. Place your hands there below your heart and listen to your breathing and surrender, which is really a challenge for me. To just go into yourself, surrender everything, get your mind out and your heart in, and just breathe into yourself and listen, like lose track of time, sit in that, and then, take as much time as you want, and then come back And then I just processed all that, right? A really great tool would be is to journal what comes up for you. If you surrender everything because you need to ground and you really need to center, if you surrender everything that's not serving you and get out of the complexity of life or the frustration or the chaos of what's going on around you and get centered like you would do in a yoga breathing technique, right? You really dive into blessings, right? You dive into your inner self, and you listen to yourself, or you dive into spirit. You might get a download. You get more connected to God, however you feel, if you just get into yourself. So that was an exercise. So it says, again, in recap, place your hands on your solar plexus just below your heart, listen to your breathing, surrender, lose track, and then come back. And so I picked these cards for today. I'm like, what do I need to share today? And so this might resonate with you as well as it did me. It wasn't just for me. So I did test for coming on to Google today. The second card is what an option I have been, or we have been, someone here has been actively avoiding. Okay. So this is a beautiful card as well. I love the yellows. There's a lot of yellows in these cards. Interesting, because yesterday I was talking about having a yellow filter, like still filtered, kind of transparent, but not quite all the way. So put in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Like, does that make sense? I see there's 2 comments and I cannot see them right now. Oh, there we go. Good morning, Amanda. Is it cold in Connecticut? Good morning, Chrissy. It is cold here. My windows are open. My windows are open. Yesterday, my air conditioner was running, and today my windows are open and it is chilly outside. I love it. All right. So the second card here is, so after we practice that, we get to lean into what we're trying to avoid. And on here, it says, what can you release? What can you connect to? What is the source of your power? And this is how I welcome life force into my body. And so what can you release? I think this is a journal technique too, you guys. So I would invite you, I'm going to do this in order. Today, I did practice the breathing because I was like, it's going to help me go to sleep. But I'm going to practice this. So I'm going to hold into space, surrender. I do love fall too. It's my favorite time, Chrissy. And I'm going to write down in a journal, and I'm going to think about what can I release? What does not serve me? I was just talking to another beautiful woman that is putting out a cleanse here. And in the fall, we get to release what doesn't serve us, right? It's like a cleansing before winter, or cleansing before we go into hibernation. And if we don't release these things, if we do not surrender to what doesn't serve us and pour into us, the winter causes a lot more depression. The winter causes a lot more just uncomfortable feelings because we internalize all this negativity and we don't let it go. And so I am so excited to be a speaker in this cleanse, in this summit, to pour into women about self-love. And coming up next month, I believe it's October 7th through the 11th. And what we talked about was just really, really tapping into what we normally do naturally, right? And if you don't normally get super energetic and just have all of this abundance in the spring, and then things start changing in the fall, if you don't naturally feel that, I would invite you to tap in a little bit, because our bodies and our mind and our soul generally naturally do this. And if they don't, we're avoiding it, right? So I would invite you to journal and to write down what you can release, what you can connect to. I'll put this in the description after. What you can connect to, what is the source of your power? Like, where does the source of your power come to? and how that you can welcome it, right? We get to release. It's like fall cleaning, right? I didn't really fall clean, but I did get rid of a lot of things, right? We tend to have like a garage sale at the end of summer, or fall cleaning, or different practices in our churches that we do in the fall, all for that cleansing, right? All for that spiritual, emotional, and household cleansing, right? I was talking to another friend about feng shui, and we're redoing my space in my office, right? Eventually, I'm going to feng shui my entire house. You start with one room, not to overwhelm, right? And so it's that continuous shifting the energy to bring in, just bring in the light to us, right? To feel our soul and to let us be lighter. All right, so that's two, right? That's another doing. I'm so excited about today. I will put it in the description. Don't you worry. Good morning, Sharon. All right, and the next one, the last card that you pull, if you pull 3 cards in this deck, everyone's different, right? Is a lesson to learn. And this really resonated with me and the conversations that I had. I did, do you guys, I have a little more judgment for myself that I have. I teach not to be judgment on yourself. I teach grace. I show that here, and in everything that I do in my lives and my teaching and my coaching. But I tend to not internalize the things that we're talking about today. I tend not to look in the mirror, and I get to practice that. I was just talking yesterday. So this one is a lesson to learn. And this last card is also really pretty. I love the fall colors on it. And it says, "This is my prayer to be at home with myself." This has a lot of meaning to me, right? Because we've been talking about this month. In September, I am at home with myself, literally. Right? There is no one here, which is a good thing, because like yesterday, I got to reframe and reset myself like 6 times, which means I sang out loud boldly, and like no one was listening, because no one was listening to a song, because I wanted to dance, and I had my own dance party, and I sang my little heart out, and I oiled up and did all the things because I needed to reset and reframe yesterday. So literally, I'm at home with myself, right? But intentionally, this card is to be okay with you, to feel comfortable inside your skin, to feel that you matter first, right? Your love for yourself is more than enough, and you don't need outside forces to help you decide, or to just have the confidence, right? You first look into yourself, and you're self-aware, right? We talked about that last week. Self-awareness, you were assured with your own self. And Amanda, I saw you said something. 1 second here. Oh, that's good. The judgment card: to give myself grace and give others, too critical of myself. And this is landing for me. Amanda, I just talked about that yesterday to another person, because I was like trying to do a live. Trying to do and doing is 2 different things. So I wasn't trying very hard, but I wanted to come and be authentic and be bold. And I was scared to death, which is so awkward. I can be live on Facebook all the time, and I can talk about whatever. You ask me a question and I can boldly be authentic and tell you. But I went live on Instagram, and I was just like, holy crap, it was a whole different world, and I have no idea. I didn't know how to stop it. So anybody wants to give me and an Instagram live, that would be great. But I was going through something in a coaching, because I'm in this leadership program, and I was so hard on myself, and I was like, I wouldn't be like this. Somebody asked me, what would you tell, let's just put Chrissy out there, because Chrissy, you're on here, and I just got to see you last week, and I'm so excited. What would you tell Chrissy? And I'm like, well, I wouldn't say that. And they were like, why are you judging yourself so much? Right? And so the conversation was, I have this idea I'll just be authentic. I have this idea in my mind, and I think it's because it's been taught. And if you know me, you know that I want to end generational cycles of trauma, right? And those negative emotions that are attached to them. And that's my vision. And I have grown up where it doesn't matter what is going on around you, you don't cry, you show up powerfully, you show up courageously, no matter what, and no one knows what's going on the inside, which is not real. It's faking. It's faking till you make it, or the old saying of pull your bootstraps on. Exactly, right, Amanda? We're supporters. You're probably a supporter too. Like, I would give my everything to somebody else. I would sit there and I would be kind, and I would listen, and I would give her grace, and I would just be there and coach, right? And I get to look in the mirror, and it was a really big lesson yesterday. And so I had to turn it around. Yes, Chrissy, you're the same way, right? We're really good supporters of other humans and not so much ourselves. I think it comes naturally as women or naturally as moms. And if you are a supporter, then yes, then it's so easy to give to other people, and especially so much so that we empty our cup, and then we forget, and we lose ourselves, right? We lose our own personal vision and of what we wanted to create. So like in the chat, like when you were 5, what did you want to do when you grew up? When you were 5, what are the things you thought of, right? Before we started worrying, before we started analyzing everything, before we didn't jump in a mud puddle, like, right? Before we decided, right? Somebody said, you have to hold it together. There is no crying here, right? There's no crying in baseball, right? There's just so many things. There's so many times in our life that we're told that you just stuff it, shove it, and move on. And you guys, if you feel the feelings for 16 seconds, powerful things can happen, right? If you let it go, if you feel it, if you resonate it with you, if you're like, wow, that sucked, wow, that hurt, what is this teaching me, what can I do now? And you step into it, you shift that, right? If you have a panic attack, if you're in here and you're in crisis and you can't breathe and you're having a panic attack, if you physically feel that shitty feeling and you physically move, your body shifts and your body realizes that you're safe, right? If you tell your brain, I am okay, and you physically move, you're getting out of that danger, right? But you feel it. And then you ask yourself, what do I need now? What do I need? Yes, our divine masculine. You are talking my talk. Jack from Lost. Yes, absolutely. We get to get into our feminine too. Our divine masculine is running, right? It is the strength that we need to persevere. Absolutely. We need both, but we get to tap into our feminine as well. And crying is not a bad thing. Crying doesn't make you weak. Vulnerable, yes, but it's also a beautiful expression and a beautiful release. And it's authentic, and it won't take you years to get through that one thing, right? If you can seriously tap into it, hold your center, get into yourself, feel the feels, release it authentically, in the here and now, you're going to save years of working on it in the future. You're going to save probably 10 to 16 years of therapy and self-development work for that one thing, right? We're always developing ourselves. We're always growing and going through life, right? Our vision always changes. Our vision from 5 years old, 10 years old, 20 years old always changes. But really, I would invite you to try this exercises and be authentic. Because even though it's a practice, I will say it's not going to be easy. It is a practice. It's why this card deck is called Practice You. I love it. Tap into your divine feminine. I think that we do need both, but I feel like we women, and I know there's men in here too, and you guys are all awesome, but I feel like we have stumbled on just living in the masculine only, and we are losing ourselves. Yes, absolutely. It is a practice, right, Amanda? I've been working on this. And another thing that I think the masculine side is the controlling part of it, right? I think the controller or trying to control the outcome, or the holding it in controller, it's okay a little bit, or it's okay to do this, but whoa, pull back in that. We get to tap into home. We get to tap into ourselves and feel what and feel into what feels good. Because then we're going to be open, right? We're going to be more open to what's coming. We're not going to be deflecting. We're going to be able to be better moms. We're going to be able to be stronger in our skills, or our for our clients, because we go through it authentically and release it instead of stuff it. And then we also can teach that, right? We can show and teach everybody around us. You guys, as soon as we're a mom, or as soon as we grow up and we're around humans, we're automatically coaching, right? We're automatically showing up, and it's in that teaching that we practice. I'm reading your comment. Absolutely. Absolutely, Amanda. Oh my gosh. Yes. I love this. I love this conversation. So I have never given you guys a call to action, I don't think, like in real time, and like, hey, we get to practice this today. But it absolutely connects to your vision of what you want to create. And it's going to enable you to be authentically in yourself going forward, right? It's going to help you practice releasing this fall what doesn't serve you, and to have a better, intimate, more feminine connection. Whether you're either way, men have feminine parts of them as well. To have that intimate connection, be that intimate partner, to be able to be authentic, and emotions are part of that. And I think that we're just constantly going, and it's a challenge to lean into our own selves. It's a challenge to sit in an empty space, because it's a challenge for me. Who can sit in an empty, like in a car, and not speak? Like quiet, which is probably why it is a challenge right now. Quiet is uncomfortable for me. So in conversation, like I feel like I have to fill the space, right? But you can lean in and listen, and really go into source, and go into your heart, and figure out what you need, and ask yourself. Absolutely ask yourself, what do I need right now? If you guys are feeling stuck, stagnant, in quick stand, hyper emotional. I just did a gem session the other day, and one of my things was emotional, right? Why am I crying all the dang time? And so if you're feeling like that, you get to tap into yourself and figure out where it's coming from. And remember, give yourself grace. It is fall. We are always in something, right? Michael's live shares on Tuesday mornings at 9 my time. So probably 10 o'clock your guys' time in Eastern time, always shares what's going on in the moon, right? And it does take time, Amanda. And so there's always something going on around us. There's always an event we have to plan. There's always a family wedding or a family get together. We're going to have more family time in the fall, right? We get to release what comes up for us as it comes up for us, so that when we're sitting at Thanksgiving, when we're sitting at Christmas, when it's a new year, we feel more confident with ourselves, and we can get the things done that we want to. And we can come into those conversations and those connections with our family with love, with openness, with connectedness, and not these negative emotions that we've stuffed, right? I was talking to somebody yesterday about a conversation. We had a gem session, and a conversation with a family member, and like how to have this conversation. And I was like, be open, come in love, and be honest. Like, don't come out as a bitch. Don't be like, you did this. You'd be like, I am creating this space for both of us, right? I'm coming into this meeting and this hard time and this transition in life with love, which starts with tapping into yourself, getting into center, getting into you, and starting that with love, right? No. Oh my God, man. I'm like, I think I'm going to take the week off because like, this is just too much energy for me. It is a lot of energy, you guys. I'm just like the other day, actually, like, I think 2 days ago, like my head was like so heavy. It was like woosah. Like I was like, and I say woosah in a different way than most people do, but I feel like it is a thing. It is a thing. And so we get to, if you're tapped into that, absolutely, Chrissy, have a great day. If you're tapped into that, get your toolbox out, right? Drink a ton of water. Pour goodness into you, right? I've been using a lot of really powerful emotional oils like hope um and balance and align, because I have felt just wonky and wobbly. Whoa, Woosah. Like if you have the Woosah feeling, I'm just like, whoa, like my head is so heavy. Anyway, so we're just riffing now, and I love the conversation, Amanda. I appreciate you being here. Chrissy, thank you so much for being live. If you come and you watch the replay, put hashtag replay underneath here and ask questions. I will get on here. Woosah woo. Sharon, I love it. Yes, thank you, Sharon, for being here. I love it. Oh my God, I have tears because I'm like, woosah woo. Oh my God, that's great. It is a thing. So start with you, start with center, listen to what you need, ask yourself. I am challenging myself. So I'm just gonna put it out here. I'm challenging myself to do mirror work today. And this week. To look at myself and do mirror work is really, really hard. For me, it's a challenge. We're gonna say it's a challenge because and I teach it, right? It's in my coaching. We do affirmations and mantras in the mirror, and we look at ourselves and we tell ourselves how amazing we are, right? I can do that. But I've been challenged to look at myself and talk to myself like I would my best friend lately. I'm not giving myself enough grace for all the things that I'm doing. And so I get to look at myself today and this week and give myself grace and give myself love in the mirror. And so if you also, if this is a challenge for you, if you're learning how to do this and you need to practice, you get in front of a mirror. I'm going to do that today and every day this week as an extra practice. And then I'm going to bring it into my routine because I've been listening to myself talk to myself, and it's not very kind. Struggle bus, right? It is a challenge. And if you get in there and you get emotional, cry it out, sister. You're watching you, and it's okay. No one else is watching. It is okay. So go in the mirror, close the door, have quiet, like don't have chaos around you because you're not going to be authentic, right? And just get to work because it's going to be massively shifting and releasing. And we get to do that in the fall. And it feels like fall today, ladies and gentlemen. It feels like fall today, and I love every bit of it. All right, you guys have an amazing day. I appreciate you being here. If you guys don't know, you're like, oh my gosh, I've never seen Shannon on here before. Go up into the featured section and you will find all of the partners, the times they come on, all the events in the calendar, and download this calendar. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Amanda. Have a great day. And so you can know what's going on and you can add it to your own calendar so you don't miss any of them, or you could absolutely go back to replay. So if you're finding me on replay, hello, and thank you for being here as well. Post your questions below. Also check out my campsite link because I have some new things in there all the time that is changing. And I invite you to message me if you have any questions about the membership or anything else on my website. So you guys have a blessed day. We'll talk to you next week.